Welcome to Seven Rivers Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, inside looking at sports, wellness, and fitness. Well, we're going to start the show a little bit different than normal because as we begin this week's show, today we celebrate Martin Luther King Day, national holiday, no school. Certainly Martin Luther King attributed many quotes, profound quotes. One of them, of course, looking forward to the day when people are judged by their character rather than the color of their skin. He also said something that I think is equally provocative, and it's life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? We're going to begin the show, but before that, with that question, today the spotlight on Central Red Raider basketball. Head coach Todd Fergot, been here since day one when we started the show, along with Isaac Goldstein, Camron, Crandall. Welcome to the show, guys. Well, Martin Luther King, the most persistent question, what are you doing for others? You thought there was no school today, but there really is, at least for this question. What are you doing for others, Coach?
You know, I guess, as a coach and as a teacher for our kids, I always try to give my best effort with them, and I always try to hopefully, again, model the things that we always talk about with our players, working hard, integrity, making the right choices on and off the court, being respectful. So I guess in terms of what I'm trying to give is try to give these guys that stuff every day, just like the students in my classroom.
Actually, I knew the answer to that question coming from you because you're a friend, and I know exactly what your culture is all about. We're going to talk about that. Isaac Goldstein, you got quite an impressive resume. We're going to talk about that, but what are you doing for others?
Just trying to help out in school when I can, so if people have questions about homework assignments, I'll try to help them out as much as possible. And in basketball, I would say like when we have to learn the plays, maybe helping guys who might not exactly know where to go, just helping them learn where to go.
I got the feeling that people seek him out, Coach, for some wisdom and some of those things that he just said.
He has done a really nice job of that this year. It's been kind of fun to see. We have a lot of plays that we have in, out-of-bounds plays, set plays, side-outs. And so it's quite a volume of information for a number of our players this year. This is their first time on varsity. And for Isaac, it's his first time also, but he's really done a great job of putting extra time in. I mean, I know he studied the plays, and I know, like, over break, we talked about it. I mean, whenever I ask Isaac to do something, he does it. He steps up and goes above and beyond, and he's been a really good leader for us and taking those younger guys under his wing, and so I've been very proud of the progress he's made and really helped the other guys make it our team.
Martin Luther King, one of my heroes, and I talk about him when I give speeches. He's one of many that have made a difference in this world. And Camron, reading your resume is like, you have got to be kidding me. But Camron, life's most persistent, urgent question for you as we begin the show is, what are you doing for others, Camron?
I would say first in basketball, always trying my hardest in practice, so making others better around me, trying to do that as much as possible. I would say in the classroom, always giving my best effort, and again, like Isaac said, if there's anything that people need help with, with homework or whatever that may be, trying to help them too, stuff like that.
Well, again, as we begin the show, we'll talk a little basketball now. As we begin the show, 2 days from a huge win, we covered here on KQEG your win over Woodbury, 56-51 in the Midwest Players Classic. Several thousand people in attendance. You were the spotlight game at the end of the day. I would assume we'll talk about it. You feel good about your format, but along with about your performance, but along with that, kind of an AAU style week, meaning you had 3 games in 5 days. It began, and my gosh, I mean, you had enough energy to finish the week in front of all those people in flying colors. Give us your thought on that.
Well, I was really proud of our kids. It was, like you said, 3 games in 5 days. Played Logan. They played very well. It's always a tough game at Logan's Place. We know that going in. And I thought the kids, we did some good things, certainly some areas we need to get better at, but I thought they competed. And I really thought against Sparta on Friday night, certainly we'd like to take care of the ball a little better, like we talked about earlier today, and our shots weren't going in certain situations. But I think we did a lot of good things against Sparta too, and I think that carried over into Saturday. And I was just really proud of our guys. They were tired, certainly, but I was proud of they competed, and I really like what I've seen the last probably the last week or so, just the progress we've made, starting to see the right things show up on tape when we watch it and break it down. And so I think we're making some improvements, and we're working hard, and just a great group of kids to be around.
Of course, winning the state championship last year with 26 wins, 2 losses. I read a quote I liked just recently and talked about people that have success. Some people rest on their laurels, rest on the past, rest by looking over in the rearview mirror and admiring themselves. Others use success as a catalyst to do more. Does that describe you, Isaac?
I would think it can, because I don't want to try to look at the past and look at what I've done, because even though it might affect you in the short term, in the long term it won't affect you at all.
Football and basketball,
Yep.
2 sports athletes, Student of the Month, Hustle Award, and so on. You've and a leader, and we're going to focus on some leadership things, but are you comfortable with your accomplishments so far?
I am. I think there's still more that I can try to do, but I think for what I've done, it's good.
Camron, 3-sport athlete, concert band. I don't know. We only have a half-hour show, so I can't go through all the things that you're involved with. But National Scholarship, a Chemistry Student of the Month, French, Honor Society. Geez, I wish that would have been my resume when I was in high school. Unfortunately, only a few of them were. But you're able to balance. That's what all of us struggle with, balance. With family, with jobs, with hobbies. And are you able to balance everything?
It gets a little bit hectic at times, but you just kind of make sure you plan everything, so that everything works out. And so, yeah, it gets a little crazy sometimes, but it's fine. I enjoy it. It keeps me busy.
But advice though for young people that need balance, time management, prioritizing things. But there's a lot of people that want to be involved in all those things, but share some wisdom how to do all that.
I guess my philosophy is kind of just if it looks fun, if it's something that you think you might enjoy, try it out. If it works out, then great, you've got a new hobby or new passion. And if it doesn't, then nothing lost. You gain an experience.
Good. I've always been impressed, just jumping around back and forth with the Central Red Raider culture. There's a book out that talks about culture begins in the locker room. And I've read it numerous times, and even though I'm a retired coach, I'm still a coach at heart, and I still enjoy listening to speakers and so on. Culture begins in the locker room. We've talked about in the past about your core values. In a real succinct way, share those with us.
Well, in those, as you know, Terry, and I mentioned a couple earlier, integrity, respect, perseverance. Those are things we talk about with our guys on a daily basis. And we talk about them really year-round. It's not just during the season. We do it in the off-season. And we try to always identify players in our program that are doing a really nice job of living up to those standards. And then sometimes what I really like, too, with our guys is they'll admit, coach, or they'll admit to the team, hey, you know what, I got to do a better job. I got to work a little bit harder. I've got to study the plays. I didn't make the right choice, in this situation where I maybe should have studied more for a test. So what I really enjoy about it is we're helping them be, most importantly, better people, better students, and then the basketball thing just kind of comes along with it.
So in developing a winning culture, and there's lots of reading material on it, it really begins with personal relationships. It begins in the classroom. That's where, in terms of prioritizing things, it begins with knowing people. It begins with an article I read recently about a coach that has Sunday night conversations, like on ESPN. Sunday night conversations, and you perhaps can't do it Sunday night, but with individual conversations with players. So it's getting to know them more than just their athletic gifts on the floor. And do you really work hard at that?
We've been really blessed through the years to have such great families and such great, kids and parents to work with. And So to be honest with you, I kind of always looked at it as just an extension of my family, and so these guys are my sons, you know, and that's the way that I treat them, and I have high expectations for them, but they know I love them, and I think their families know that too, how much they mean to me.
And I see that too by you and your assistant coaches and how you handle your players, and that's why you're on the show for 14 straight years or whatever it is. But anyway, we're going to step aside just for a minute when we return more with Central Basketball here on Seven Rivers Sports.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports again. The spotlight today on Central Red Raider basketball. We all know the success in that program under 14-year head coach Todd Fergot. Again, with him, Isaac Goldstein, Camron, Crandall. Isaac, coming back to you. You are a leader in your own sort of quiet way, and I know you shared with me that leading is sort of getting a group of people to collectively go in the same direction. Yeah. Share that.
I think that really to get where you want to go, you need everybody, no matter where they are. An example for basketball, where they are on the bench, if they're playing 30 minutes a game or they're playing none. Everyone still has to have the mindset that you want to win, and everyone has to do the same thing. There's some depth to you and to Camron, and it's pretty apparent for me and our viewers. Depth, something some people don't have the depth that perhaps they may acquire later, but your depth in terms of your philosophy of life is somewhat provocative. What is that? I think it's something to do with working hard and enjoying life. Yeah.
How do you demonstrate that?
I just do it by giving my 100% whenever I can, no matter what I'm trying to do. And I think that's an important lesson that Fergot has taught us, and that what we need to do to be successful.
Can I just speak to that a little bit?
Oh, of course.
Isaac is a special kid, and you know what I love about Isaac is his number one, his passion for the game. He loves the game of basketball, and he works as hard as anybody we've ever had. And what I love about it is, even though the payoff for him wasn't there immediately, you know, he might not have been on varsity as a freshman or sophomore or even as a junior. A lot of kids in today's society would have walked away or would have given up on that, and not Isaac. And he kept working and kept improving, and we just are so lucky to have him to be a part of our team. It's a great testament to him.
I think here's a lesson, and I'm not perhaps putting words in your mouth, but this has always been important to me. Let's see if it is to you. People that are loyal to your program, that are out for since they're a freshman, that exhibit leadership and so on, they should be rewarded by being on the team. I've always thought that. Do you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. Those guys, if they've and there's a lot of work that goes into it. You know, if Isaac went to put the time in the off seasons the last number of years, if he went to put the time in the weight room, if he wouldn't have done the things we need him to do, then he might not have earned that opportunity. But there was, without question, he had earned it, and is a big part of our team. There's no doubt about it.
Depth. That's a big part of successful young people like the two student athletes here today, and depth and goals and so on. Really demonstrated something special with you, Camron, because where are you going to go, and tell us about what the future is for you?
As far as like college or career, stuff like that. So I applied to a few colleges. I applied to Stanford, MIT, Michigan, and Madison. And so I'm hoping that at least one of them accepts me. And then as far as like career, hopefully engineering. aerospace engineering, dealing with planes and stuff like that. That's always really excited me.
Would you believe it that I wanted to be an aerospace engineer too, but my family and advisors said, I don't think that would be the right thing for you to do. I think they were probably correct too. So, but that is highly impressive, and leadership is what you are all about too. Give us an idea of how you lead.
So for me, leadership has a lot to do with like relationships and stuff like that. So if you can form a relationship with somebody, it becomes a lot easier to sort of impart that leadership on them. You know, in basketball, we have a lot of relationships with our teammates and stuff like that. So it becomes easier to sort of take a leadership sort of position with them.
Favorite saying that you have?
Oh geez, I have a lot of them.
Just pick one. I got about 10 or 20 of them.
I mean, there are a few.
Is it something to do with something incredible is waiting to happen, or?
Yeah,
you like that one?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's mine too, so that's why I helped you with that.
Oh, somewhere something incredible is waiting. Something.
What's waiting for you?
I don't know. Hopefully aerospace engineering.
And then. Like the Nobel Peace Prize?
It could be Terry. This it's unbelievable.
Could be.
Yeah.
So our viewers all throughout the world, they're wondering about something about you that maybe people don't know. What would that be?
I have. Let's see. I am very obsessed with Elon Musk. He's the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, and I actually turned my car into a Tesla. I got a decal when I visited Tesla headquarters in California, and put it on my car right over the Chevy logo.
What's the name of your car?
Elaine. My car's name is Elaine.
Elaine?
Yeah.
I used to date a girl by the name of Elaine, but that was a long time ago.
Interesting.
Elaine. Interesting. Oh yeah, I guess really interesting. This guy is. Well, Isaac. You have a couple characteristics that I can pick up on very quick. One of them is intelligence, and the other one's creativity. And the reason I know that is because the reason I see that is because I know a little bit about you and about something that others maybe do not know. What would that be?
That I'm Jewish.
You are?
Yep.
What a proud thing to say. You probably didn't know this, but I'm going to tell you some very high-profile people that are Jewish. You ready? Ryan Braun. Did you know that?
No.
Did you know that Harrison Ford?
I knew that.
You did. Did you know that Mark Spitz and Sandy Koufax, high-profile athletes?
Yeah.
And did you know that Sue Bird, one of my favorite WNBA players, is Jewish? And do you know my favorite Jewish person from the past?
Who's that?
The greatest Jewish teacher that ever existed, Jesus of Nazareth. Did you know that? So what's special about being Jewish?
I think it just brings on a new viewpoint that I can help other people kind of see, because not a lot of people get to experience what being around someone with another religion might be, so they might not look at the viewpoints exactly the same, so I can help them kind of just understand what maybe I would go through that maybe other people wouldn't.
Are you sort of saying understanding and eliminating stereotypes?
That would be part of it, yes. Just try to show people that that's not true, and that what people think is actually in a different light might be more serious.
Fortunately, in this country, people don't have to hide their faith like they did in the when the Nazis were persecuting Jewish people, and that was a very dark time in the history of this world. And so we do deviate from sports a little bit in this show, which is good because it's healthy to be involved and talk about a lot of different things. Should we go back to basketball for just a minute?
Sure.
You got a tough week ahead of you too. But as we tape the show, by the way, here on Martin Luther King Day, you have a week to get ready though for for Onalaska. That'll be a big game on Friday.
Well, first of all, we got something more important than that. We got finals coming up. So these guys know. We talked about that already today. That's first and foremost. So when we're done here, guys are going to go home and study a little bit, hopefully, after maybe shoveling a little bit of snow. But yeah, we do have Onalaska on Friday, and you know, that's, I mean, Onalaska, they always have talented kids. That Royals program has just done a phenomenal job for them through the years, and so they're always talented. You know, they have such supportive families. It's a basketball community, you know, because of the families and their program that they have. So yeah, so we it's a tough game, but we got to worry about school first and foremost this week, and we'll get to the game on Friday.
Exactly, and then Toma, North St. Paul, and the Border Classic. That'll be an interesting game, and Stoughton, and you close with Toma. So, and then on to the postseason, and certainly the goal being to get back to the Crosse Central.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do before we even get to that point. We just want to try to get better, I said, each day this week, and kind of see where it takes us in the end.
Yeah. Life is not, and basketball is not a sprint. It is a journey.
It's a journey, yes it is.
It's a journey day by day of getting better.
Yeah.
Isaac, where are we going to see you? You have 5 months left until you graduate, next chapter of your life. Where are we going to see you in a few years?
My plan right now is to go to Western Technical College to kind of get my generals, and hopefully I'll be able just to come back and maybe help around with the program some more,
We'd love to have them.
helping younger players learn the game.
You indicated in your profile that one of your favorite sayings is you believe that loose balls, practice game, whatever, is something Coach K says. Loose balls that you are chasing has your name on it, like Isaac on that ball. How do you demonstrate that?
I think just go for whatever you want to do at 100%. I think in basketball, if the dive, not just for you, but for the team, or like in life, if you have to make a decision, make it proudly.
Role model?
My dad.
Oh, yeah, successful role model for you, Camron.
Elon Musk.
And who else?
Bill Gates. A few others probably.
Bill Gates, I think he's a pretty good guy to emulate.
Yeah, not just for his, what he did in the technological field, but he's a huge philanthropist.
Is he ever? I mean, you read about some of the things he supports, it's like, well, he certainly, let's see, Bill Gates, life's most persistent, urgent question, what are you doing for others? Bill Gates is doing a lot.
Yeah.
You're following that role model?
I try to.
Good, good. I have lots more questions, but we're out of time. Yeah. So we really appreciate you being on the show. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, our guests today, Isaac Goldstein, Camron. You've done a great job, Camron, Crandall, and Todd Fergot. Best wishes for the rest of the season and for your rest of whatever you guys choose to do in the future. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll be back with some film clips of a big game recently, right after this.
At Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning, we have assembled a championship team
Who listens to what your needs are.
We install carrier comfort systems that improve the comfort, efficiency, and the air quality of your home and workplace.
We serve you with highly trained technicians who are prompt, friendly, and honest.
For Gold Star treatment, turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. We covered a couple of games this past weekend. The big one, the Central Red Raiders at the Onalaska Hilltoppers, and the Hilltoppers ran away with the game. Tremendous shooting from the outside. Noah Skifton lit him up, and a big win for the Onalaska Hilltoppers. Lots more games coming this next weekend and throughout the season deep into the postseason. Well, hope you enjoyed the show this week. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.